My name's Auyeung and I study marketing at the University of Ottawa in Canada. And before joining the ID&BM program, I was actually interning at a marketing agency as a marketing assistant. Well, I guess my perspective of design has kind of changed over the time when I was actually here doing my ID&BM program. My perspective of design actually was quite narrow-minded compared to my understanding of design now. I kind of actually thought that design was actually a way to enhance a product aesthetically, so making use of your right brain so that artistic skills become more dominant. But I guess design before I came here was to, draw something on a blank canvas, or in a marketing sense, to create an advertisement or create a storyboard, and to create things like interior houses or like cars or buildings, and the list kind of goes on. And I thought that business and design kind of gets together, and that it'll help me in my marketing skills to enhance my artistic and creative skills. But actually coming into this program, my understanding of design now has kind of changed. It kind of did like a 180. It's sort of like a oh moment, like an eye-opener where design is more relevant and it's actually everywhere now that I see and walk. And the program doesn't necessarily per se teach you how to become a good designer as in hard skills, but rather it taught me how to become a thinker. And what I really mean by a thinker is that it's the methods and tools that actually teach you to help you expand on your knowledge and your understanding of the processes a designer would go through, and through those challenges, or what they kind of define wicked problems. And these toolkits and the knowledge that I've gained will actually kind of help me better be a communicator when I work with a team of designers. One of the interesting things that I've actually learned here in my program was actually from Kees Dorst. Kees Dorst taught us how to frame create. And this frame creation, this framework mindset of breaking down the problems into micro segments and building up from there, kind of helped me kind of connect the things together in a more thoughtful way by looking at the problem or world in new ways. How does ID&BM prepare me as a T-shaped professional? Well, the program nurtures effective managers, leaders, and it has a lot of teamwork opportunities. And teamwork at first is, I believe, when I first started in the program, was kind of not effective when I was doing my projects, because a lot of people had a lot of different backgrounds and there was a clash of culture. And as a leader in that group, I kind of planned and formulated different strategies that would have worked in Canada, but kind of devised it in Hong Kong because of the different contexts, so that groups can actually work effectively. And I believe that ID&BM is like a real-world simulation where you actually work with people of all different ages, different backgrounds, and sort of like a multidisciplinary team. It's a way to co-create, share, and collaborate. And one has to be more empathetic towards others and understanding their way of thinking. And this helps me manage how to speak and understand more effectively so that things become more fruitful in the end and easier to manage. And this process helps me become more understanding of others so that I'll be able to communicate and pitch for both sides of design and business. My plans after graduation? Well, that's actually kind of a tricky question. At first, I think I was planning on joining the big 4 marketing agencies and even joining CPGs or climbing up the corporate ladder. But I kind of have mixed feelings now, I suppose. I believe that from the millennial generation versus the Gen X-Yers, millennials want to learn and soak up all that learning as quick as they can and soak it up like a sponge and be able to create meaningful things and be a part of something that's meaningful. And being enriched and exposed to conferences like in Hong Kong, such as BODW or DISI, and having met with these intelligent business designers and entrepreneurs, having discussed and chatted with them, I feel as though making small things can actually be just as meaningful. And like that quote, as it goes, big things start from small beginnings. It can be said that doing good and doing well can lead to better things. And so hopefully I'll be able to work with something that's in a company that's more meaningful, something that actually has a better culture inside a company, and be it however it's going to be a social enterprise, or even through social innovation, or even becoming a socialpreneur. I hope that this SME will still have a great culture for me to be able to work at. I believe that a company that has great culture and allows you to have the flexibility with great people alike on the same vision allows you to do your job wherever, whenever, I guess, as long as you get the job done and have time to work on your own project and stimulate growth and ideas. 3 lessons I've learned from a year of design thinking and innovation. Well, hopefully I can sum this down. I guess number 1, you have to be open. You have to be empathetic. The second one is to be inspired. Be curious. And the third one, I think, is, well, design thinking is actually a skill that actually gives us a set of tools to recognize risk and actually evaluate them in ways to mitigate them. And we can achieve this actually and accomplish these. And we can actually, by doing this, can actually create lasting value for ourselves and for our world. I hope I kind of summed this all 3.
My name is Wayne. I studied material science and engineering in Beihang University for both bachelor and master degree. Before joining the International Design and Business Management program, I was an editor/art editor in China Meteorological News and had been doing some freelance graphic design works in Beijing. I had always been interested in design and wanted to study in a design school. The time finally came last year when PolyU launched the ID&BM program. I was attracted to its curriculum about design and business, which I think would be good for me to develop a career in the creative industry. Also, I would get a chance to meet talented people from different backgrounds, which is exciting to me. So I submitted my application and was lucky enough to be accepted. And now I'm graduating. I do see a lot of possibilities and opportunities in the future career because of the platform provided by ID&BM. I realized the biggest change in my thinking over the past 10 months is that I become much more open-minded. I always regarded myself as the creative one when I was in engineering school. But after I came here and been surrounded by these talented/crazy designers, I gradually found that I'm indeed a typical engineering guy in the way I solve problems. That is, I always tend to focus on the solution and roll out other infeasible ideas. On the other hand, the designers in the group are here and there all the time, which in the first couple of weeks drove me crazy. But then, after learning design thinking, I understand that it needs some sort of messy, exploratory process at the beginning of innovation, and it is where the breakthrough ideas may lie. I learned to enjoy the mess, the craziness, and try not to kill possibilities at the early stage. That is one of the most important lessons I learned in the School of Design. My way of thinking also changes after attending the marketing subjects. This helped me to develop the business sense, to see the big picture, and to be goal-oriented in the business world. The definition of design becomes broader and broader during the process of learning, but one aspect of design is important to me. I see the impact of design. It is empowering. Design makes better life, changes people's perspective so they can see what they could not see before, and enable people to do what they could not do before. 3 lessons I learned from a year of design thinking and innovation: be open-minded, be cooperative, and enjoy the process.